Right then, people. So, how many of you were quite successful in picking up some cheap TF2 unusual hats over the course of like the past, let's say, month or so? So I'm sure many of you are aware we've just like passed January. Not too long ago we had Smithmas with TF2 and whatnot. And we're kind of in a bit of an awkward position now because we're just kind of sitting around. We don't have anything that's going to be appearing anytime soon in regards to TF2. It's very unfortunate. It is what it is. TF2 only gets those holiday-themed updates. But at the very least now, summer is better. But, well, we can still look at it in a positive light, if I quickly hop over to here. So, you know, TF2 stuff is still getting bought and sold and bought and sold and bought and sold. Funnily enough, with the state of the Steam market as a whole, you know, as you are well aware, I talk about Rust skins and CS stuff when the time is right. Unfortunately, both the Rust economy and the Counter-Strike economy is really down bad at the moment. All the cases in Counter-Strike dropping to new lows, prices across the board dropping to new lows. We have a new CS2 major just around the corner that might help it out, but we shall see. And Rust was supposed to have the best time to sell Rust skins literally throughout all of the month of January. Post-Christmas is what I refer to it as. Nope, that was bad as well. That was the first time in about 5 or 6 years where it wasn't really that good. So, very unfortunate. But TF2 hasn't really changed much. It's held on quite nicely. Now, there was that whole weird fiasco we had with the likes of the Manco keys getting bought with the abused Argentinian currency, if you weren't fully well aware of that. Some people made a move. They converted their currency to Argentinian peso, or so, I don't know what the actual currency is called, sorry. And what they did was they ended up buying a whole bunch of keys in-game, and then they could buy directly from the store, Manco store, and sell directly to the Steam market, to the top buy orders, and still make a profit. So that's kind of Valve's fault for not really catching up with updating the currencies. Hey, it happens quite a lot. I quite literally have a video talking about that. If I quickly hop over to here, and if I show you one of my most earliest videos, you'll see that I talk about here. Weak currency exploits in the Steam community market. So consider giving that a good watch. But anyway, let's focus on what I wanted to talk about. So across the board, every single year, we go through the routine of what is now free holiday events. There is a case, which I'm sure you can probably already think of, which a lot of people always want to open when there's brand new holiday limited time effects. I'm talking about the one and only Tough Break case. So, this goes through a bit of a cycle every single year, and if you understand when it happens and whatnot, you could walk away with a very good profit. This tends to be a very reliable investment purely from hype. So let's just kind of go through the routine. Right now, it's just been a brand new year, but more specifically, January has just ended. So if I were to just show you this right now, it's currently selling for 37 cents, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of it, going all the way, you know, like it's around close to 40 cents where there's a whole big fat chunk of them. But I'm here to talk about what happens as we progress through the year. So the reason why I brought up the summer event is now interesting is because that also has limited time effects, which would mean a lot of people are going to be wanting to look at the likes of this case and want to open them. That literally happened last year with the first instance of special limited time summer effects. So I want to show you how the Tough Break case behaved last year, because I fully expect it to happen all over again with this 2024 year. Oh yeah. So let's go take a looky. So towards the end of last year, right? Well, I mean 2022 rolling into 2023. When the Smithmas update basically finished, it went down. Towards the very end of January, the price reached a new low. For a very long time, it was down pretty bad. But, you know, we were fully well aware that we very likely wouldn't be seeing another TF2 update for a very long time. Back then, we were just under the impression that we had to wait until Halloween. But, you know, at some point, what was it, around March time, there was the announcement that Valve was going to make a very big update for the summer. And then evidently it was just a holiday-sized update, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you get the idea. So that happened, but it's now something we can look forward to from here and now. So I don't think we're going to have a bit of a spike in price like we did last year around March time, because, you know, it was purely based on that not very well clear update announcement. But we still have the likes of the summer to look forward to, and then Halloween, and then Smithmas. So what's happened here is at this very low point, that would have been a wonderful time to buy in. So at the very end of January, if you bought in here and you held on to them, waited a good, I don't know, 8 months, you could have sold here and you could have easily doubled your money in a little bit more. Yes. For you see, regardless, simply due to the hype of the upcoming holiday events, people are going to be wanting to buy out the cases because it's going to be cheaper if you buy earlier. And gradually the price of this case will go up and up and up and up and up and up. And, if we do get very good effects, God tier effects maybe, with the likes of the summer update, or Halloween, or of course even Smithmas, Christmas, of course the price will go up even higher. So the point I'm trying to get across is, have you noticed that after we did all the events, it's all gone back down again? So this is the point where we're at now. We're reaching a new low point. But what do you expect to happen all over again? Literally the exact same thing that we saw with last year. So I'm under the impression if you were to start slowly picking up some of these cases for a cheaper price that what it currently is at, if you just hold on to them for a fairly reasonable amount of time, if you wait until around maybe June or July time, we'll have the summer updates that'll come out. We'll get limited time summer effects, so keep an eye on the workshop and whatnot. And then if that comes and goes and it's not that good, don't worry, because we still have Halloween. And normally Halloween is usually the main event, the main holiday update that people really are invested into, because that's the one that was normally the main one, because it was Halloween first with limited time effects, and then we had Smithmas doing it, and now we have summer events, which are basically the same thing as the other two, and we now have limited time effects for those. But it's usually Halloween is the one where we've seen the most hype and the most rise in price for. So yeah, we saw a bit of a spike in price when the update came out for the summer update, but the effects weren't exactly, so they kind of went back down again. But then after that, the hype for Halloween started in August, and it goes up and up and up and up and up, and then the actual update came out and the effects weren't exactly super great, so they went back down again. So that's a bit awkward. But you can see from here to here, price good, nice climb in price, and it tends to be very reliable. So yes, with that, all right, if you're looking for something that's a reasonably safe, reliable, long-term investment, if you need to put some money away, I would definitely direct you towards the likes of Tough Break Cosmetic Case. Now, I don't know if everybody who's watching this video is someone who actually plays TF2. You probably should to understand the whole process of this, but the reason why this is very reliable is because you got a 60% chance of opening an all-class hat. And, well, if you get a very good unusual effect on it, that means that hat can get a lot more usage. So, therefore, more valuable. Now, a lot of people might be talking about the likes of, Hedge, what about the likes of Crimson Cash Case? You're correct. That's also another case, or a case that can open a very... it's got 80% chance of getting an all-class hat. Problem is, there's a lot of them. And there's a lot of them on the Steam market. That's not really a reliable investment, I'm sorry to say. There's 275,000 of these on the Steam market versus just about 6,000 of these. So there's a lot less of these in circulation. Crimson Cash is a lot more abundant. That's got a long time until it eventually becomes a whole lot more profitable. So it does get opened a lot. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But... One case I did see starting to do a whole lot better as years go by is Vermin. This basically doubled in price, and it did a very good job. Now, by default, it always has those god tier effects with the likes of the Lucky Cat hat in the case as well. A very nice combination. But yeah, from here in July to here, it rose up quite nicely. So this was sitting here at about, 16, 17 cents, went all the way up to about 28, 30 cents here. Not an insane climb, but... it seems to be doing that quite regularly now. So this is another thing I would probably point you towards. Not as good as Tough Break, but little by little, bit by bit, that quantity is starting to diminish, slowly disappear. So it's definitely something I would recommend, direct you towards. So, yeah. Right. So, it's up to you what you do with that information. It tends to be reliable, but you got to understand the main draw for what will definitely cause this to rise up in price ever so nice is if we do get god tier effects, but the hype is still strong enough where you will see this sell for a much better price at some point down the line later this year. And if you are invested in other games, maybe this is something you might want to put some money towards, because as I can show you right over here, I got a whole bunch. I have them all spread around my accounts. Now, I did sell a bunch of these during the likes of October time because I knew it would go back down in price again. I think I made a video talking about that. Pretty sure I did. It must have been like an update video after Halloween. But anyway. I did sell some of my cases, and I honestly can just go buy these back now, and I've still made a profit. Yep, no, it did work out. So this is something that people should be doing a whole lot more of. Once you see the effects that have come out for the likes of Halloween and, of course, Smizmas, you should then make a decision, okay, what am I going to do now? Whilst, the event's out, and by default, the cases will be at a higher price, you should consider making some sales, get the money whilst you can. Don't dump, don't unload everything, but do it within a reasonable amount. And then, wait until the end of January again and repeat the whole cycle all over again. So, yeah, I still have quite a lot, but I did sell a lot as well, so I'm not really that worried. But, yeah, you get the idea. There's a fairly decent amount of profits to be made with the likes of this if you're smart and understand the whole situation. So, I've passed on the information to you. It's up to you what you do with the knowledge. But, yeah. And there's another real quick thing I wanted to give an update on, the paint. Do you remember how I was talking to people in regards to, hey, do you need to put some money away in regards to, with all the profits you potentially could have made with the likes of Rust? Oh dear, post-Christmas was very good. But anyway, this was selling for like $2.50 each, weren't they? Now they're back up to above $3. There you go. That proved to be very reliable. So white paint as well, tinge. That's looking pretty good. Then you got the likes of the lime paint, $3. Not as good as the others, but still very nice. And then you got the likes of pink. So yeah, that worked out instantly. Now again, will it be better at some point later down the line? Yes, of course it will. If that big fat quantity wasn't there, it probably would be doing a whole lot better. Yep, I definitely think that would be a case. But some people just can't help themselves, can they? So if you are aware of this history, so every Christmas or rather Smizmas, this will go down in price. It'll be 50% off. But after that, I mean, price just seemingly always returns to its normal value from what it was beforehand. And if it does work out very nicely, it might go back up to its actual original price. Maybe. But you can clearly see every single year that routine where it goes on sale, and then during the year it goes back up in price ever so nicely. So, congrats to you if you ended up buying a bunch of these. But it's up to you now when you want to sell them. Do you want to hold out and towards the end of the year where they might go up in price a little bit more? Or are you going to reach a point where you're going to need some funds? You need to cash out. Hey, it's up to you. But with the likes of the summer update now, and of course Halloween and whatnot, prices for the paint should be doing very nicely throughout the rest of the year. So. Cool. I hope that was all nice and insightful for all of you. Understand the cycle of this, and, well, every year now. So as long as TF2 remains fairly popular, and, during December it was doing very good numbers, wasn't it? It was doing over 200,000 people at one point. Yeah, you can probably make jokes about bots, but, yeah, whatever. So, anyway, up to you what you do. It's been reliable, and it'll probably stay reliable. And little by bit, as the quantity slowly disappears, it will only become more and more valuable. But typically around the end of January, early February, it's usually the point where it's at its lowest price. It's up to you if you want to jump in and invest. Nice long-term investment. So we'll see how this behaves during the rest of this year, and cycle will start all over again soon, eventually. So thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and